Bravery Beads are not given away. They're not rewards, incentives, or pick-me-ups. Not the lollipop after a needle. Not the Band-Aid on a boo-boo. They're badges of honor, earned with every admission, poke, scan, surgery. They're symbols of our strength, of every obstacle we've overcome. A reminder that at SickKids, we don't bend to the impossible. We defy it.
Welcome, everyone, to our 1 in a Million celebration. I'm Ted Gerard, CEO of SickKids Foundation. Today marks an unprecedented milestone in our historic SickKids versus Limits campaign. 1 million donors. 1 million Canadians who answered our call, who joined SickKids in our fight to turn today's discoveries into tomorrow's recoveries, to strengthen SickKids partnerships at home and around the world, to build a new and even better SickKids. Today we celebrate those donors and all of you. Now I'd like to introduce our host. She's an astounding dancer and brilliant actress with dozens of credits to her name, including the TV shows Being Erica, Heartland, NCIS, and General Hospital. In 2018, she made history as the first Black Canadian to lead a dramatic show in Canada. And in 2020, she received Nova Scotia's Screen Actors Award for Outstanding Performance by an Actor for her work on Digstown. Please welcome your 1 in a Million host, Vanessa Antoine.
Thank you, Ted. And thank you, everyone, for being here. Even when we can't convene in person, it's important to pause, to reflect on how far we've come and where we're going, to acknowledge that even amidst a global pandemic, we continue to fight for sick children. And not just us here watching now, 1 million donors. Like Ted said, that's worth celebrating. And while our event is virtual, the land which I stand today is very real. And that land is the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat people. Today, we honor the traditional inhabitants of this land on which SickKids and I now stand. But we also reflect and we ask ourselves how we, as citizens, as Canadians, can do better. For SickKids, that means acknowledging its history with Canada's Indigenous communities, however painful that might be, and reaffirming its commitment to health equity and the health of Indigenous children and youth in particular. Thank you. Now, I'm here today for many reasons, but mostly because I know how you can change kids' lives. See, I was one of those kids. I was born sick. My skin was blue. My heart was dangerously weak. The doctor at Mount Sinai said I needed an emergency, an operation right away. So they bundled me up and they whisked me through the underground tunnel connecting Sinai to SickKids. I was in the hospital for more than 2 weeks without direct human contact. For my parents, that time apart from me was agonizing and traumatic. But then I came home. I got healthy. I grew up. I found dance and acting and love. It's all because SickKids saved my life. Being here today is my way of saying thank you to all those incredible nurses and doctors who saved me, and to all of you who support the work that they do. But today isn't just about me or the great SickKids staff. It's about the patients. Collectively, they've earned over 1 million Bravery Beads. for tests and blood work, for heart transplants, kidney transplants, for chemotherapy. They honor this with their courage. SickKids Foundation commissioned the brilliant Nico Williams to create a monument to the brave. Here's what that looks like.
Hi, my name is Nico Williams. I am an Anishinaabe artist in Montreal, Quebec. The SickKids team approached me and my team to weave Monument to the Brave.
It is amazing the power of one bead. My name is Judy Harrell, and I've been an active member of the Women's Auxiliary at SickKids since 1978. Bravery Beads allow the children to tell a story of their treatment through beads, getting one bead for every procedure that they undergo. And at the end, they have a very meaningful necklace.
Every procedure has a specific beads. I believe there's upwards of 25 different type of beads that you can get, and every bead represents something different. My name is Jeffrey Fang. I'm a 17-year-old patient at SickKids, just ready to graduate high school and about to graduate SickKids. These beads represent my journey of resilience and perseverance. And as a graduating patient from SickKids, just donating these beads back to the monument really allows me to let my story live on and really serve as a beacon to those patients who are coming into SickKids for the first time and might be very scared. But looking at the monument, they might feel that, someone else has done it before, I can do it with them. And it might give them that hope. That's really why I donated these beads.
I wanted to make an object that really represented how it's all connected. Some of the families would send in letters to the studio. So when I was going through those letters, some families would send one bead while some families would send 700 beads. So it was exciting to go through these and start bringing all the colors of the stories that these children have earned.
They are tests, they're x-rays, they're ultrasounds, they're everything. So every procedure, every test, everything he has gone through is documented in his beads. My name is Crystal Costante. My son is Nathan. He was immediately rushed to SickKids after he was born in 2018. We donated 700 of Nathan's Bravery Beads to the Monument to the Brave, and we still have thousands more in our home to represent his heroic journey. SickKids is the only hospital in Canada that was capable of doing Nathan's lung transplant. So it meant a lot of us to donate our beads, to be a part of it, and to show people our strength and to share our strength and be a part of it. Are those your beads? Here, you want your beads? You want your beads? Can you say hi?
When we got the name beads delivered to our studio and started to separate them from the necklaces, it was exciting to have the names. We had laid down the first name and it was Marlo. On the surface, Marlo was one of the patients that laid the first bricks of the new SickKids hospital. So that was awesome. When we actually started to connect the names and the stories.
Marlo loved collecting her beads. She was very particular. She needed a lot of time to select just the right one. For her, it was very positive, and she liked collecting them and stringing them along, and she would show them off. She was pretty proud of them. My name is Tanya Bain, and my brave daughter Marlo was a SickKids patient who passed away in 2018 from a rare form of childhood cancer called rhabdomyosarcoma. At the launch of our SickKids Versus campaign, Marlo was featured laying down the first brick of the new hospital. That film is where the SickKids versus journey started. Now we've achieved over 1 million donors. And Marlo's very special bead, which is a butterfly, which was her last bead collected, will adorn the monument to the brave. She'd be very proud, and she'd love the fact that there are so many beads and the stories of so many kids along with her. We're just really pleased that she could have been a small part of it.
I believe like Monument to the Brave is to represent all the families that have beads. So if you have beads on the monument or if you don't have beads on the monument, you're still a part of it. I just want everyone to realize like this monument is like all connected. Like we are all one with this monument, with all the SickKids families involved.
It's unbelievable when I think that we have looked after over 1 million patients and have given out more than 1 million beads to these patients. So that's something to be extremely proud of.
You know, these beads represent what we've gone through and how far we've been.
You know, SickKids saved my life, and I can't thank them enough for all that they've done, for all the comfort they've given me through my trials and tribulations.
Bye.
Seeing Monument to the Brave completed, it makes me proud, and it's going to make other people proud. It's very touching, the work. When you're in front of it, you'll just get waves of emotion coming to you.
Thank you, Nico, for your beautiful work. Crystal, Jeffrey, and Tanya for your brave words. And Women's Auxiliary Volunteers for funding the Bravery Beads program and running it together with Child Life. And now, the moment we've all been waiting for, the big reveal, our 1 millionth donor. Or should I say donors? Because they're a couple who never set out to make history or be feted at a big event. Nope, they just gave because they wanted to. Because SickKids stories move them deeply. Because they're expecting a baby in May. And they believe their child, like all children, deserve to be happy and healthy. So, everyone, I give you our 1 millionth donors, Robin and May.
On the drive home from work, I was listening to News Talk 1010. They were doing a huge fundraising campaign for SickKids. They had a lot of parents and survivors come through SickKids to tell the audience their stories. For some reason or another, it struck a chord with me while driving home, probably because we had just found out that we're having a little baby boy in a few weeks. So listening to some of these stories of parents that have just had their baby and all of a sudden horrible events happen and they have to be whisked off to SickKids, it really broke my heart and just made me feel like this is a service that is essential. I came in, I was like, hey, hon, we just donated to SickKids Hospital. I hope you're okay. And she was like, absolutely. So
I have had a couple of close friends who have had services at SickKids for their children. Of course, that initial panic of, oh my goodness, my child is in the hospital, what am I gonna do? But what they've said always has been, I'm just so lucky that my kid is there right now and that they're getting the best care possible. It's really reassuring to know that we have SickKids and that there's such a special facility like that.
I never win anything. I got a phone call from SickKids Hospital and they basically said, congratulations, you're the millionth donor, and much more fanfare and praise than that. And I was kind of just, I didn't know what to say. I just did a nervous laugh because I wasn't too sure if that was true or not, but it ended up being true. And I don't know how to describe it. It's pretty amazing. And I was told about all these fantastic new campaigns that are coming up and the goal to build a new hospital, which is the big milestone for SickKids. And to be a part of that is super amazing. It's incredible. And words don't describe the feeling that you get from contributing to something that is so good for the community.
You know, it was just really nice to know that we're making a small difference in a child's life or in a family's life. You never know when you're gonna need to go to SickKids. You never know when you are going to need to go to the hospital, and
it has to be there.
And it has to be there if you have a child. And so to give back to such an important cause is really important, so that SickKids remains the leading hospital and it remains there in Toronto, in the world. Yeah, for sure.
Thank you, Robin and Amay, and congratulations. Today you've learned how far we've come. But this $1.5 billion campaign has always been about where we're going and a vision for the future. And at the heart of that vision is a new state-of-the-art SickKids. So here's Ted to bring that vision to life.
Today marks a great milestone in SickKids history, a history that began in 1875 with the very first hospital for sick children building, a converted 11-room house, a history which then took us to 1891, and a new bigger building at College and Elizabeth Streets, where the hospital stood for 60 years, and onwards towards 1951, when our current building on University Avenue first opened. But behind every SickKids hospital in history, behind all of the bricks and mortar and cots and operating rooms, is a community of caring people united to bring children the best possible care. In 1951, 85,000 people stood in line to take a tour of the then new SickKids because they were proud to have such a great hospital in their own backyard, and proud to have helped fund it. Today, 70 years later, I still feel that pride in me, in all of you, in our 1 million donors, and in our campaign chairs. These chairs represent the hundreds of volunteers who have helped bring us to this juncture in SickKids history. They and all of you are also bringing us into the future, and that future looks beautiful. Let me share some beautiful renderings. The first is the Patient Support Center at the corner of Elm and Elizabeth Streets. This 21-story, 450,000 square foot building is rising as we speak and will open in late spring or early summer of 2023. It will house all of the administrative functions of SickKids, our Learning Institute, a simulation center, and physician offices. It is essential to have this building up before we can start tearing down the old part of the hospital. And when that's done, well, we see rising a spectacular new hospital for sick children. This is the view of the new hospital looking south. Inside, you can see our brand new lobby that will be connecting University Avenue all the way to Elizabeth Street with lots of natural light, wood, bright colors, and a garden greenery. Elements that are supposed to help in the healing process of our patients and make it a welcoming spot for our families who come to SickKids for their care. Here you see the Sky Lobby on the 11th and the 12th floor of the new hospital, a place where patients can come down from their rooms and enjoy the atmosphere, to feel that they can move from a hospital setting into something far more relaxed, a gathering place for families and children in a wonderful 2-story atrium. And now the moment we've all been waiting for, which is the visual of the brand new SickKids Hospital. Located at the corner of University and Gerrard Street, this 26-story iconic building represents the very best in hospital construction anywhere in the world. As you can see, it rises majestically and provides ample green space for patients and families and physician and staff. This new hospital will provide state-of-the-art technology, equipment, many features that we can't provide to our kids today, like private rooms and space for families to stay, private washrooms, and state-of-the-art care facilities like our new neonatal intensive care unit, the new intensive care unit, the bone marrow transplant unit, the critical cardiac unit, operating theaters, all of the things that we need in the new hospital to provide the world's best care to the children of Ontario and Canada who deserve nothing less. I hope you're just as thrilled as I am with what the new SickKids looks like. A hospital for the future, a hospital for all Ontarians and Canadians. The future of SickKids is bright, but our work here is unfinished. There's still money to be raised, construction to do, research to pursue, and kids to care for. But it will get done. All of it, just like it always has, because SickKids has you behind it. Thank you for being a part of our history and our future. Our next speaker is SickKids CEO, Dr. Ronald Cohn. He is, as most of you know, a towering figure and man of many titles: pediatrician, geneticist, dad, researcher, president. And yet, even with his many roles and responsibilities, Dr. Cohn still likes to go by Ronnie. So take it away, Ronnie.
Thank you, Ted. It's Ronnie because that's what my young patients like to call me. Working as a scientist and clinician, I've seen incredible things I never believed possible in my lifetime. And as president and CEO of this wonderful hospital, I'm constantly amazed by the incredible work we do. And yet, what continually leaves me awestruck is the support of our community. The love that our community has for SickKids, the outpouring of compassion for our staff and patients during the COVID-19 pandemic, the 1 million donors who gave to SickKids because they believe in what we do. That never ceases to inspire me, and to be honest, it never will. I am so touched by your generosity and your support for everything we do here. We are building a future at SickKids that we can all be proud of. Our transformed campus will advance research, care, and learning through well-integrated technology, flexible spaces, but most importantly, a healing environment that supports a seamless patient and family journey. We are honored to be building this future with you. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you.
Thank you, Ronnie. And thank you, Ted. Thank you to all our speakers and to you for watching. Today marks a great milestone in SickKids history. And you made it possible. Thank you.